and the conversation as to, a particular rapper and her pregnancy announcement, and the fact that she happens to be pregnant for a man that already has a wife. Illegitimate at about maybe 14, 15. Literally, I didn't even know, I had no concept of what illegitimate even meant. It wasn't until I think like my mom and dad were going back and forth about child support, and she had an attorney. And I think I heard it come from the attorney's mouth. And I remember hearing that word, and I'm like, damn, that's a big word. What does that mean? And whatever it means, they're referring to me. He's not illegitimate. She's not his illegitimate child. He's on her birth certificate. I'm still sitting there like, I'm in here with her, but I don't know what the fuck is going on. What does all this mean? So, I asked a few questions when we got in the car, and I don't even know, like, if I had fully processed it in all these years, what, that I was actually my dad's outside child. My mom talked about their relationship. She talked about how much she loved my daddy, and she talked about how he did her wrong with, but she never mentioned the fact that he had a wife, and though my siblings that I know as my siblings were they were part of that union. Goodness of the lady that I referred to as my stepmom, because I didn't know how the dynamic works. But no, she was his wife first. My mama was the side chick, and I was the outside child. Yet, that lady, oh, I'm not gonna cry. That lady was so nice to me. She treated me like I was hers. And like trying to reconcile that, still to this day, I don't know. I always say, she was a better woman than I could probably ever be. Because the amount of times that I used to cry to my mother to go to that lady's house. Because why? When I was at that lady's house, she baked me cake, she made me food, like whatever my favorites were, she made sure she had. And I just think that, she had just reconciled with the fact that I was an innocent child in it. She wanted her children to know their little sister, but I had that. Listen, not only did she keep me, I'm gonna keep it a buck. When we would go over there, sometimes my mama would drop me and my older brother, who was not for my dad, over to that lady's house, and she cared for us like we were hers. But I said all that to say, even in the best situations, it still leaves this cloud kind of over the child, to where there's certain dynamics that are very confusing to a child. Like, I didn't really understand why we had to leave sometimes, like, why is my daddy here, but then I have to leave and go home? Like, it was just so much that was confusing to a child. And so even with everything being provided, even with money, even with all of this access, there's still going to be a part of that child that doesn't really understand their lived experience, and the confusion at that age, and comparing their lives to the lives of their friends that they see, or the lives of other people, is still going to leave them with a lot of confusion that they're not going to have to understand. And probably into adulthood, they will be able to start making sense of some of the things that they went through, and why things were this way. So, I don't see it as just being about the money and them being able to, provide material things, there's a sense of security that children need more than any material item that they could have. And I think that when that sense of security isn't there, when why is daddy over here and mommy's over there, and nobody wants to have the conversation because it's too raw, that security can be lacking. So again, I just think emotional security and safety over material things being able to be provided to the child. So my 2 cents. And